Hey guys, I'm Cinco Paul, and I've written some of the most successful animated movies of all time. Despicable Me, The Lorax.
No. I'm Cinco Paul. You're Butch Hartman.
What have I done?
Let me check my phone.
I've got all the things.
Let's see.
All right, everybody. That was our amazing theme music, as always. And we're back. We're on Speech Bubble now, and I've got my co-host. Now, Jace, you're not a minion, really.
I'm human again.
You're human again.
Yes.
You know what,
That's a relief.
What's funny about Jace, though, when you look at Jace, he looks like a cartoon. What do you think? Cinco, doesn't he look like a cartoon? Kind of?
Yeah, he does. I think it's the hair.
It's the
I don't have
hair.
the 3 minion strands on top of my head, though.
Right.
I have a full head.
I do have a question, though. If you were going to be a minion, would you be a one-eyed minion or a two-eyed minion?
I would be 2-eyed. I like Bob.
Bob's the two-eyed one?
Yes.
Who's the one-eyed one? Wait, let's ask Cinco.
Oh, no, I think I know. I think I know.
Well, there are many one-eyed ones. There's a Kevin.
I was going to say Kevin. I was going to go for Kevin.
He's my favorite. I like Kevin, the one-eyed.
I like how mundane their names are.
Yeah,
it's like so normal.
That was the choice. Kevin, Dave, Stuart, Jerry. Yeah.
Had to be that way. So wait, now, Jace, it's not often I bring in anyone in here that's more talented, more successful, taller than me, but I've gotten rid of all of those rules today.
I like how taller is the last one.
Taller is the last
to
one.
really get
Who
them
cares
in there.
about the success, the influence on culture? But this man sitting across the table from me and on the side of the table from you, he's an amazing guy. It's Cinco Paul. And the first now Cinco like Cinco de Mayo. It's Cinco, correct?
That's correct. I was born on Cinco de Mayo.
You were.
That's May 5th. That's why my parents gave me the name Cinco.
Now, I'm trying to think of a joke.
Well, what came first, the day or you? That's my question.
Well, the day, I think the day was in the 19th century.
Oh,
so it was before me.
So you were born in the 19th century. Wow.
That's good to know. Good to know.
Interesting.
Well, so Cinco Paul. Now, are we allowed to know your real name? Do you ever discuss your real name? Or are we allowed to even say what that is?
I mean, it's okay.
Your given name.
My legal name is William Joseph Paul Jr.
Got it.
But since the day I was born, I've been called Cinco. So it's not like an affectation or something that I gave myself this weird name.
You've been called Cinco.
Since the day I was born. My parents always warned me, you're going to kindergarten now, you won't be able to be called Cinco anymore, and then it was, you're going to middle school, you're going to high school, you're going to college now,
You're going to the podcast now.
Yeah, it just stuck with me, so.
I understand. Well, my real name is Elmer, which is way worse than your real name.
Really?
And my nickname is Butch. I've been called Butch since Cinco de Mayo when I was born, which is the weirdest
Wow,
part.
nice.
We both have nicknames. Look at this.
Yeah.
And we both get into animation. It's so strange. And Jace is just your
I'm the odd one out. I'm sorry.
You're just named Jace.
I could have a new name.
Yeah, no, we could call
I could go with Bob. Or
Jason could be a minion name.
Yeah.
Jason would be a good name. What nickname could we give you though? Is my question. I don't even know what I'd give you. How about like a Fuzzy Head?
Oh, that's good.
Fuzzy Head.
That works. I'll take it.
Fuzzy Head, young tall boy. That's what we call it.
Tall hair.
Yeah.
All the silliness aside, hey, I'm so glad Cinco is here now. Cinco, I met you. Now a lot of people out there who don't know who Cinco is. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Because
a lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't know who I am either. And I put this podcast together. No, but it's like a lot of people will go to movies and watch them, but they'll very rarely pay attention to the writer or the director or the producer of the movie. And you've done some of the biggest animated films in the last, 10, 15 years. And if I could just name a few, Cinco here is not only a personal friend, which is how I got him on the podcast. Thank goodness he's here. But Cinco, if I could just name a few, and I'm probably going to miss a few because there's so many of them. I know there's Horton Hears a Who.
Yes.
You wrote that movie.
Did.
Correct. You wrote the Lorax movie.
Yep.
Am I correct? You wrote Secret Life of Pets, one of my all-time favorite movies, by the way. You wrote all 3 Despicable Me movies.
That
right?
is correct.
And then the all-time classic that a lot of people love and revere, Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy, which was the first movie. I have a writing partner, Ken.
Right.
Daria, and that was
who we don't care about because he's not here. So
yeah, he's not here. Whatever. I just wanted to mention him once.
Yeah. What is his full name?
Build your quote.
Ken Dario.
Ken Dario. No, it's his name. Does he have a number for a name like Ken
No.
Ocho? Is he Ocho? I mean, I don't know exactly.
No, just plain old Ken.
Ken Dario. We're gonna get. Would Ken come on the big podcast here with you?
Of course, yeah.
Would he really?
Yeah.
Would he come on without you, or does he always need to have you there? I'm just wondering.
I think he would prefer to have me there to back him up.
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
Yeah, to be his wingman.
Okay, we'll get you both back in here.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Thank you.
But first,
that
I'll
ends
just
our
talk
podcast.
trash about it.
That ends our podcast right here. All right, so
but that was the first movie that we wrote together that got made and sort of started our real careers as screenwriters. Was Bubble Boy? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how'd you guys start together? How'd you guys get that partnership going?
Yeah, I had been working as a screenwriter for a while, and as you know, you could
back up, stop for a sec, because on Speech Bubble here, we like to tell people and encourage them with their dreams, and like people want to know when you say I worked as a screenwriter for a while. That's saying you can't just say that. It's like, how did you get to be a screenwriter? People want to know that.
Well, yeah, and I will say that as a kid, I had big dreams of making movies from the time I was little, and it really all started when my parents got a Super 8 camera. I think I was in 4th grade or something.
I had one of those myself.
Yeah, it was for home movies, but then I immediately started making my own movies with all the kids in the neighborhood, and then I started doing claymation movies, stop motion.
And wouldn't that suck as a kid? Because you'd sit there like for 30 hours and you film, and then you get your film back, and you're in the camera, and it's like 2 seconds of film. You're like,
and my hand is in the shot accidentally, and
of course.
Of course. But yeah, I would spend hours doing that, and so I had all these I had aspirations of being a pop musician too, but it was like music and movies. That's what I really wanted to do.
Because you're an amazing piano player. I've seen you play piano, and you're fantastic. And you write music. He's here. He's more successful. He's more talented, and again, he's taller. That's all I'm saying. He's much taller than me. And
I'll agree with the taller part.
So anyway,
that's indisputable.
You made movies as a kid. Now, where were you born? Were you born in LA?
So I was Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
So I was growing up in Phoenix, and then ultimately, like when I really started seriously pursuing movies as a career I was in North Carolina. My wife was in med school there. She's a doctor.
Okay.
And the deal was that we were going to move to LA after she finished med school so I could pursue music. But then she's pregnant with my first child.
Now, how did that happen? Explain all that. We really want to know.
He hasn't taught me yet how that works.
Wait, that's a whole different podcast.
Yeah. We'll do that. Yeah, so separate podcast.
Okay.
And
Jace, make a separate podcast.
Okay, got it. I will. After the bubble. Got it. Okay, keep going.
And so she was nervous of like, what are you going to do? Be a pop musician in LA?
I'm studying to be a doctor. And I'm going to school every day.
And I started to get nervous, and I started to think, what could I do that would be a little more solid? And I thought, like, well, I can go to film school. I can apply to film school. If I get into USC or UCLA, then I'll know that I've got something.
So
I
not
should
used car salesman, not
exactly. That was on the list of options. There were many.
I bet.
And I got into SC, and so then I did 2 years there, master's in screenwriting.
Wow.
And that really sort of launched me because I had no connections when I came to LA. I didn't know anybody, but USC became my connection. I got a job as an intern at a company called Addis Wexler, and they liked me because I was good at answering phones, whatever I was doing there.
Oh, wait. There's a phone. Can you answer that phone?
Yeah. I'm there already.
You did a great job
amazing.
On that.
And reading scripts and doing coverage and all that sort of stuff. And then they said, once you have a script that's ready, you can write your own cover letter, and then we'll send it to all the agents we know. And so that's what I did, and I wrote this cover letter, saying, look, this is the hot new talent at Cinco Paul. And really only one agent responded.
So you'd written a whole screenplay.
Yeah.
And you wrote your own cover letter, and it was sent on an agency letterhead out. And I tell people all the time, young people who listen to this podcast, they ask me all the time, I'm sure they ask you, to get in the industry, you have to just be willing to pretty much do anything and just be ready at a moment's notice because that opportunity might come when you're not expecting it. Correct?
Exactly. And that's the advice I give everybody because I can only speak to my own experience, but it's like be an intern, be the best intern ever, and people will want to help you.
Yeah.
They really, honestly, I didn't have to ask anybody. They approached me and said like, hey, we know you want to be a writer. Once you're ready, we'll help you out. Wow. And so really one agent wanted to meet with me. And that was Frank Williger, who's still my agent. And he signed me, and he's been my agent since, when was that?
Who was president? Who was president?
Yeah,
exactly.
1993 or something like that.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so that got me started, and then the next script I wrote sold as a big spec sale. It was called Band of Gold.
Band of Gold. Now, have we? Did it get produced?
Never been made.
Okay. I can lie about screenplays too. Cinco. I wrote a big screenplay that was never made as well.
Yeah.
It was called Band of Gold. It was never made.
Yeah, never made. Yours was called Band of Gold?
That's
suspicious.
That's
interesting.
Mine was called Jace's Hair. And that's what it was called. Yeah. And by the way, it's an epic adventure through the hair.
They all shrink down. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, hair of gold.
Yes.
It was it's actually one of my favorite things I've ever written.
What was it about?
A doctor who's about to get married. He's entrusted with his fiance's, the family's heirloom wedding ring.
Can I guess?
and he accidentally sews it up inside a patient.
Oh God! Oh, that's
and then so it's sort of a screwball comedy. He's trying to get the ring, and he falls in love with the woman,
and he has to reoperate on the woman.
Right.
Oh, God.
And
really funny.
And so it was like a big spec sale. It made sort of a splash. Was in the trades, and that was the days when, you could sell a script for
a pretty good amount of money.
pretty good money. It was really great making that phone call to my father to let him know.
Wow. Remember when Flatliners sold in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
That guy, a young kid out of nowhere, he just sold the movie Flatliners, sold it for like $400,000, which back in the 80s was this massive amount of money.
Well, then Shane Black sold like Last Boy Scout or something for $1 million. It was a crazy time. Yeah. And so
Band of Gold was never made?
It was never made.
We have to make this movie, Cinco. Let's make it on my new platform.
We have two cameras right here.
We have Jace. We can operate on Jace.
Yeah, easy.
The challenge is
actually operate, no problem.
My agent actually still is trying to get it made, but the problem is that there's a lot of money tied up in it.
Yeah,
so it's sort of a disincentive. So
you can always change the name and make it another item. That's all I'm saying. Right there.
That may happen, but you may be onto something.
I think we call it iPhone Lost in the Body.
Gandalf Bold.
Gandalf Bold, exactly.
And so then that launched me, and then I got a bunch of different jobs where I wrote Mr. Ed the movie for Disney.
Oh my gosh.
I wrote a movie for Barry Levinson, who was one of my heroes.
Yeah.
Diner I loved, but none of these got made.
Rain Man too. There's don't forget
Rain Man. I mean, tons of great movies.